Okay, today, y'all, we're talking about how to find your perfect signature scent. If you've been struggling to find your fragrance, this video is for you. Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Kelly. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit different of a topic. I'm not going to be going through any individual fragrances, but I did want to share something for those of you that are a little bit newer on your journey. Maybe you don't have 5,000 perfumes already. Maybe you don't binge watch YouTube like it's your literal job. Maybe you don't feel like spending hours poring over Fragrantica reviews and YouTube videos to find your perfect fragrance, and you just want to find something in a quick and efficient manner. If that is you, this video is definitely for you. So the very first step that I would take in attempting to find your signature scent would be to first look at the fragrances that you already have in your collection, even if you don't have any perfumes yet, but maybe you've got some body lotions or some candles, and just taking notice as to what types of notes and what types of families of notes you really gravitate towards. So for example, you might find yourself being really drawn to body lotions that have a floral scent, like maybe peony or lily or jasmine. You might find yourself gravitating more towards gourmand scents like vanilla, sugar cookie, chocolate, caramel, that kind of thing. You might also find yourself feeling a little bit more drawn to some spicier scents like saffron, ginger. You really want to just start to notice and maybe, keep a journal and just kind of jot down what scents really draw your attention. I think as a good starting point, it would be really good to notice, like, what are the top 3 scents that I tend to gravitate towards the most, okay? So once you've kind of figured that out, then the next step is to just be mindful of what season we're in, right? So right now here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's just before Christmas, it's winter almost, and it's pretty cold out in most places unless you live here in Texas and it's like 75 degrees today, but you want to be a little bit mindful of the season that you're in. Now, this isn't a hard, fast rule. You can definitely wear whatever you want, whenever you want. But for me, I find it a little bit more exciting to kind of like pair my fragrances with the specific seasons. The next thing I want you guys to take note of, and this might be a little like a few steps ahead for some of you, but for some of you guys, this might help. I would recommend looking at the perfumes that you already have in your collection or the ones that you gravitate towards and getting clear on, like, do I generally tend to really like designer fragrances more, or do I tend to kind of gravitate more towards niche? I feel like I've said gravitate like 500 times already, and I'm probably going to continue to say it. But yeah, just kind of getting a feel for what your preference is, because you can kind of tell a little bit of a difference. Like a seasoned nose can definitely pick out designer from niche, although often there's a little bit of crossover, especially as the designer houses work with different perfumers, and especially as niche works with different perfumers, there can be a little bit of crossover. But for the most part, they have a little bit of a distinct smell to them, like a distinct kind of style. Same thing when you get into like the smaller indie houses. Those sometimes you can kind of pick apart from the niche and designer. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then look at what fragrances you do already have in your collection. If you've got like Dolce & Gabbana, Carolina Herrera, if you've got Prada, those are all going to be designer houses. If you have brands that basically only focus on perfume, those are niche, right? So Arquiste is a great example of a niche brand. Gosh, there's like a million, right? There's more niche brands than designer brands. But you'll notice the designer brands are going to be a little bit more crowd pleasing. They're going to be a little bit more mainstream, not super polarizing for the most part, right? And so you just kind of want to get a feel for what you tend to gravitate towards. Okay, and then what I want you guys to do from here is take those 3 notes that you listed and go on to, you can do this on Fragrantica, you can do this on a number of apps. I know that the Sniff app, you can do that on there. I know, what's the other app? I feel like it's just called Fragrance. There's so many apps that you can download on the App Store, and you can just put in a note and it will give you an extensive catalog of fragrances that have those notes in them. So what I would do is have a little bit of fun with this. And again, this is really going to be dependent on how much time you want to devote to this. But I would go through and I would just maybe, like, if you know that you prefer designer over niche, then there might even be an option on the app to like click only designer and get like, so for example, if you pick vanilla, right, as one of your notes, let's say you have vanilla, let's say you have patchouli, and let's say you have bergamot. okay, which is super random. But let's say you have those 3 notes, right? And you know that you tend to gravitate towards niche, for example. And if you don't know that, that's okay. So you're going to go into one of these apps. You're going to click on, I would just do one of the notes to start. So you could start with bergamot. And then you could click on, if there's an option, click on niche. If there's not an option, you can kind of just, weed through as you go. But I would take a look and I would start to read through the reviews of these fragrances. I would look at the price points and I would just start to make a very small list, because you could get like kind of ahead of yourself with this, and just take note of which of those perfumes really stand out to you, which note combinations look interesting to you. So if you see like bergamot with like, I don't know, like a black tea note and a ginger note in there, and that sounds intriguing to you, write that one down, right? You know you're gonna like the bergamot. You get to explore if you like it with, that kind of tea component, that kind of spicy component to it. And so I would just make a very small list. And then what I would do next is I would actually go onto a samples website and I would order samples of these fragrances. So I'm gonna put my favorite places to order samples down in the description below, but just off the top of my head, my go-to places are Scent Split and the Perfumed Court. I also order from Lucky Scent here and there, and also Twisted Lily. Lucky Scent I don't order from as frequently because they only use dabbers for their, I always get Lucky Scent and Twisted Lily confused. Yeah, I believe it's Lucky Scent that only uses dabbers. And to me, if you want like a full, really like realistic experience of how this fragrance is gonna wear on you, you need to be spraying them directly onto your body versus dabbing them. So I would recommend getting some spray samples, getting those, and then just playing with them and just seeing like, how do you feel with these fragrances? Not just how it smells, but like, how does this fragrance alter how I feel, my state of being, my confidence level? Do I feel like a boss when I wear this? Do I feel super like meditative? Do I feel comforted? There's so many different ways that fragrance can make us feel. And it's really dependent on like, how do you want to show up in your life every day? And how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel relaxed? Do you want to feel inspired? Do you want to feel energized? Whatever your goal is and whatever your intention is for, and this could be a whole other conversation, but for who you are wanting to be in the world and how you're wanting to show up, and maybe some goals that you have around your presence and your state of being, you can actually use fragrance to kind of jumpstart those states of being. So just something to be aware of as well. And again, I could do like a whole other video on that, and maybe I will. But that's sort of the summary of how to find your signature scent. And today I want to talk to you guys about a way that you can just kind of like collapse that entire process and get it done in like 10 minutes. Okay. So if you're interested in learning how to do this, then watch the end of the video, because this is definitely for you. So I had this genius idea, you guys, absolutely genius. As you know, if you've been watching this channel for a bit, I literally spend hours every day researching fragrance. I feel very confident about my abilities with notes and just different compositions. I definitely am not at an expert level, but I feel very confident that I'm probably ahead of 95% of the pack. So I was thinking about how I could create my first fragrance offer. And this isn't something like, I'm not in this to like make a ton of money. It's more so to just like have even more fun with fragrances and be able to interact with you guys in a different way. And so what I came up with was doing virtual scent consults, which I'm so excited to announce. And basically what this is going to be is a virtual scent consult. This is for those of you that really want to find your next signature scent, but you don't have the time to search. You don't have the time to do all the research and the reading and listening to the reviews. You definitely don't want to like go to the mall and try to, interact with the holiday crowds and get through all of that to find your fragrance. You don't want to be hounded by salespeople. You don't want to smell a million fragrances, have a headache, and still haven't found the one. There's so many like reasons why it can be frustrating if you're not super passionate about fragrance, right? Okay, so I put together this really exciting scent consult experience for you guys. And the first 10 people to purchase the scent consult are going to have it as like a beta test, basically. So I will ask for a baseline of $33 for the first 10 people, and that's just to cover the cost of the scent consult itself. And then I will give people the option if they want to like tip or add on more money, they can do that as well. And then after the first 10 people, the price is going to go up. So how this works is once you sign up for the scent consult, you'll receive a very extensive questionnaire from me. It should only take you like 10, 15 minutes tops to fill out the questionnaire. And what I do is I take all the answers to that questionnaire and I'm going to come up with 3 fragrances that I think you would absolutely love. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to order those samples for you, and I'm going to have them sent directly to your house. They're all going to be spray samples, so you won't have to deal with any of those dabbers. And basically what you do is you go through each. I would recommend giving each one like a solid wear. I wouldn't just spray them spray them all on your arm and like decide by the end of the day which one you think smells the best. I would give each one a solid go, maybe wear only one for a day, and then, take notice of like, did it stick on your skin for a bit? Did you get any compliments? How did you feel with it, etc.? Next day, do the second one. The day after that, do the third one, and feel into which one you like the most, which one you want to have be your signature scent. At that point, you'll email me back and let me know, hey, I really, I liked Vanilla 28, for example. That was my favorite. That is the one I want to move forward with. And I'll say, cool, I'm not going to go ahead and buy the bottle for you, but what I am going to do is I'm going to find the spot where you can get it for the cheapest price. So live in that moment, like if, for example, if you say that you want to do Vanilla 28, I'm going to go on the internet and I'm going to do the research on where you can find Vanilla 28 for the least expensive price in that moment in time. So you're going to have to act quick, right? Because sales go away, they disappear. And then of course, the ball will be in your court at that point to go ahead and purchase the bottle. But I thought this was a really great solution for those of you that don't necessarily have the perfume knowledge, don't necessarily have the time, don't necessarily have the patience, but also just really want to find their signature scent. I thought this would be a great product for you guys, a great offer for you guys to get that done. And so also for the first 10 people with the beta price, I'm also going to send out a feedback form once the whole thing is complete and just ask you, what did you love about the consult? What do you think could be improved and all that kind of stuff. So you'll have a chance to offer your feedback in there as well. But yeah, I think this is a great idea. I'm super excited for it. And what I will have you do, and I'll drop this information in the description below as well. But if you would like one of those first 10 beta spots, what you'll do is send me an email to my email, which is thatsmellsdivinefragrance@gmail.com. And your payment will secure your spot. So I'll send you a link, probably a PayPal invoice for the amount. And as soon as that's paid, you've secured that spot. And then once you've secured that spot, within 24 to 48 hours, you'll receive the questionnaire from me and we can get started. So that is it, you guys. I'm super excited about this. If you have any questions about the consult, please leave that in the comments below. Or if you have any questions about what I shared earlier around finding your signature scent, maybe you don't want to do the consult right now, but you still have questions, go ahead and leave those in the comments as well, and I'll make sure to get those answered for you. I hope you guys have a beautiful holiday season, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.